So, Caleb, are you ready to go?
I'm in so much pain. I'm ready to go. I can't.
The Seahawks
I'm
just
ready.
got obliterated by the Cowboys on
They
Thursday
didn't get
Night
obliterated.
Football
They didn't get
as of
obliterated.
recording
Though I'm
this.
not. I'm gonna. They didn't get obliterated. I'm gonna talk about it in the next. The Cowboys. The Cowboys. You, Skip Bayless. You, Clete Blakeman. I'm. I'm.
Uh,
I hate this
what's the rule on
season.
YouTube?
Move
Don't
on.
swear within the first minute. We're at a minute 50. Is that a record for the Trick Play podcast? The quickest
Cowboys. Fuck the
the
Cowboys.
quickest F bomb on the Trick Play podcast. Every week we get a little earlier.
This is what
uh,
this is what happens when you record a podcast immediately following a Seahawks game. Like,
Fair enough. You know what?
you know,
The
you know what,
Flames
you know
just
when the
won an
last
OT, which they did none of last year. You should see their overtime and shootout record. It was abysmal. And they won in overtime off of a beautiful goal by Huberto and Kadri. It was awesome. They beat a very good Stars team after beating a very good Golden Knights team. They're going to win the Stanley Cup. I'm having a terrific evening. Caleb wants to go jump
I
off
want
a
to shoot
cliff.
myself. I'm gonna shoot myself. You know when the last time we did a podcast immediately following a Seahawks game was?
I
Seahawks
don't.
Rams week 1, baby.
Was it?
And that was a good segment.
That was a good segment. I remember that segment.
No, I'm gonna
Okay, we'll get into that then.
yeah. Oh, okay.
So let's talk about the Seahawks. Let's get it out of the way. Caleb, I'll let you take it immediately.
Okay. So this I don't even know like how to feel after this game because this up until the end of the game was the best game that they've played all year. And I'm looking at this team and it's this is the past 3 weeks has just been some of the worst like weeks of Seahawks football I've watched since like the very end of the Russell Wilson era when they went like 7-10. Like it was blown out by the Ravens 37-3 and then lose to the like what was it 3-7 Rams. Just a terrible stretch. This offense was completely dead. I think the stat going into this game was what they hadn't scored in about 20 offensive drives, which scored a touchdown in 20 offensive drives, which is just abysmal. And then they finally get into this game and they finally have momentum off the very like first play. I believe it was the third play. You get like an 80-yard DK Metcalf touchdown off of a slant. And we just had all this great momentum. We go into the half with the lead. And then you just come out in the second half and like, I don't know. I feel like every single week with this team, it's a new problem pops up as soon as we fix all the old stuff. You've got the offense finally picks up after being so for the entire season, and then the defense allows 41 points. The Dallas offense is good, but it's not that good. Um, I don't know. I don't have as much anger in me as I did for the Rams game because that was just a travesty had played out on a football field. This was just like depressing. Like I know just after this podcast I'm gonna break down in tears and wipe my tears on my 12 flag. Um, this sad because the outlook for the Seahawks is not good. Simon,
Well,
do you know what the Seahawks' next 2 games are?
I believe next one is 49ers. I don't know the one after that.
Oh boy, the only team in the NFC that could be possibly more difficult than the Niners.
The Eagles?
Just got flexed into Monday Night Football.
Wow, terrific.
Um,
Oh, I did see that.
uh,
But I was gonna say my one add-on as the person in this in this podcast who did not watch the game was looking at the stat sheet. Uh, I'm assuming that there's a reason behind this because I think it's absolutely hilarious. DJ Dallas is considered a passer with 0 completions for 0
yeah,
attempts. Was that because
yeah,
was that a trick play that he just didn't throw the
yeah.
ball on or something?
Yeah. So what happened was it was a smart play by him. So it was a trick play. You get DJ Dallas lined up behind Gino. He throws it back to DJ Dallas, and you can see him cock it back like he's gonna
Yeah.
throw, and then he just has nothing. So he just runs it. I don't know why that's
I was
they
gonna
called that a
say.
passing attempt because he didn't even
Well,
throw the
no,
ball.
but that's what I mean. It's not a passing attempt. He's just under like the passers. Like I can
Yeah, I
here,
mean,
I'll send it to myself so that I can put it on the screen during the podcast to show like
he didn't even attempt a pass. He just kind of it was I mean, if you're counting it on the stat sheet, it was just a really weird run play. But it was supposed to be a pass, but nobody was open, so he did the smart thing and tucked it. Um, which was one of the only questionable calls of the entire game at the end. So the thing that the Seahawks at the end of this game was just the inability to convert on fourth down. They have Jake Bobo take a green pass. He could have. I think this could have won them the game. At this point, I believe they're still up 35-30 late in the game, and because they led the entire second half. That is what is so awful about this game is that after the Cowboys had never trailed at home the entire season, we fucking owned this game the entire time. The Cowboys did not lead in the second half until the final 2 minutes. And then because Seattle, they get a 4th and 1, they can't convert. Terrible play call. Why are you running it up the middle with Charbonnet? Not a good play call. With Dallas's defensive line, you're not getting that shit. 4th and 4. Another, like, it's a blitz by Dallas. Geno doesn't have any time to get it off to JSN. JSN doesn't even see the ball and almost gets picked off. Incomplete turnover. And then on the end of the game, this is what is most infuriating about this. You have so Simon, let me ask you this question. You didn't watch the game, but let me just ask you this. So the Seahawks defense makes a great stop. They hold Dallas to a field goal to make it 41-35. So a very doable comeback with like a minute 45 left. The Seahawks have the ball at midfield. It's 4th and 2. If you are the Seahawks offensive line, who would you say the most important player to block is on Dallas's entire team?
golly gosh, I wonder. I think that you have to put an extra guy on the potential of Dak Prescott WWE style running down the ramp, music hits, running out off the sideline and tackling Geno Smith. I would say
Okay.
that is what
Other than
put the
that
left
possibility.
tackle. Put the left tackle staring at Dak Prescott, who's probably chugging Gatorade on the sideline. You know, pretending like he's not going to run on the field. Pretending. Put the left tackle on him and leave Micah Parsons completely open, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Micah Parsons was left completely open. You want to know how many blockers they had on Micah Parsons on that play?
Probably a lot less
Zero.
than Dak Prescott.
Zero. Zero. You have DJ Dallas as the blocker on Micah Parsons, and of course he doesn't even get over in time to make any contact. The are you doing, Seattle? You've called Shane Waldron. You have called a good game so far. Why is your play calling on 4th down so shit? You are over 3 on 4th down. You're a terrible play caller. Like, they had a quote in this game that Al Michaels pulled up. Well, senile old Al Michaels, who's just taking drugs in the back with Kirk Herbstreit at this point. I don't even know what he's doing. But he pulls out a quote from Shane Waldron, who's saying, oh, wow. Like,
Editor Simons. Editor Simons having
Editor Simons.
That's assuming I even take the time here. I am sorry for all the children ears potentially listening to this when Simon gives up after the 4-minute mark.
The children need to hear this. Al Michaels pulls this quote from Shane Waldron midway through the broadcast. Ugh. Shane Waldron's talking about, oh yeah, there's going to be heat on you if you don't score any points. Well, no Shane. No shit. You're not scoring any points. You're not getting anything done on 4th down. You have a good offense with good players on it. You have the best receiver core in the league. You have an above-average quarterback, and you have an amazing young running back duo. How are you not scoring any points? The garbage calls on 4th down. I could about this forever, but I have 2 more things to touch on before I shut my mouth. Number 1, the refs. The refs in this game were brutal. Like the entire game, ticky-tack calls on Seattle defenders, defensive holding, illegal contact, all of the barely contacted them at all, and it's just five yard illegal contact. 35-yard pass interference. Absolutely insane. And they were so ticky-tack. There's one on Bobby Wagner where he makes contact with the guy as soon as the ball gets there, pass interference, move the chains. On third, I believe it was third down. Like, you cannot, you're going to get a couple bad calls per game. The amount of calls that went against the Seahawks that were just, like, factually incorrect. Like, I don't think I'm being a homer with this. There's people, like, go on Twitter and look at, like, any sort of football talking head that is, like, not a Seahawks person. They're calling this out because it is atrocious. Clete Blakeman and his crew should not be refereeing another NFL game this season. That is how terrible this was. They gave us it was so bad. I think the refs gave us a makeup call on the final drive of the Cowboys because the one play we actually do, like, it should have been pass interference. It's not good call, but whatever. That refereeing was terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna add on to that. Obviously, once again, didn't watch it. Looking at a box score, the penalties were actually very even, like in yards and amount called. Like the Seahawks did get one more penalty called on them, but it was only 10-9. The penalty yards were 130 for the Seahawks, 127 for the Cowboys.
And those is that Dallas's penalties, Dallas just played, like, again, you can say that I'm a homer. But watching the game, there was a difference between what Dallas was doing and what Seattle was doing. Dallas was playing undisciplined. There were a couple calls that went Seattle's way that shouldn't have. I'm going to talk like that pass interference at the end. It should have been pass interference on Trey Brown, CeeDee Lamb in the end zone. Should have been pass interference. I think that was a makeup call. But the rest of them, like, yes, the penalty yards were pretty even, but it's because Dallas was they jumped off sides so much at the end of the second half. They had this pass interference on Tyler Lockett that was the most blatant pass interference I've ever seen in my entire life, where he tackled Lockett to the ground before the ball got there, and like 5 seconds before the ball got there. So, like, yeah, the penalties are pretty even, but this is the fact that they are even based on how undisciplined Dallas played that entire game. I think it's just speaks to how atrocious the refereeing was in this game. The final thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm not even like a Cowboys hater. I'm not a Cowboys hater. I like the Cowboys more than most people. I like Dak Prescott. I think he gets too much hate. I think their fans are obnoxious, but I don't mind them. After this game, I don't know. I was looking on Twitter before this podcast started because, of course, that's what I'm gonna do when I'm sitting here and depressed about a Seahawks loss. I'm just gonna doom scroll until my brain falls out of my eyes.
Yep.
These f***ing Cowboys fans. Oh my God! How about them Cowboys? You f***ing losers! The Seahawks were 9-point underdogs, and you should have lost. You should have lost. I don't understand what you're getting on about. I can't wait for you guys to sneak into the playoffs as a wild card and get burned by the Niners in the first round. You are such frauds. I swear to God, this Seahawks offense has looked terrible all year, and you let them light your asses up. So for any Cowboys fan who is celebrating this win like it means something to you, go shut the fuck up. Because it doesn't mean shit. You beat a bad Seahawks team. This is a bad Seahawks team this year. Go celebrate your asses off at 9-3 or whatever, and then go get ready to cry at another second-round playoff exit. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this shit. If this game told me anything, it told me that the Cowboys are just, like, I don't know. Their offense is good, but I can't wait to see this team get eliminated in the playoffs again. Yeah, and the Seahawks aren't making the playoffs. That's my other takeaway. Their schedule is and they're completely done. So this is going to be the last time you hear about me talk about the Seahawks. I hope it was fun, guys.
Oh, lovely. And let's end off the podcast by Simon, if you decided to attempt to bleep out all of those, swear counter. Let's get it up there. How many? Count them. Count them. Let's get a swear counter up there.
What are we gonna set the over/under at? Because I don't know what this currently is. Over under 100.
I think this might be easier for me since I sat here listening to it. I think my over/under would probably be. I'm gonna go. I think the over/under, like the middle, I'd probably
Yeah, the
say.
line.
You said a lot as well. I say a lot. I'm gonna guess probably 20.
I'm going over.
I
I'm hitting
I
the
would
over all
too,
day.
but I'd say the line would be probably 20.
Okay. My guess is gonna be it's gonna be like 53.
Holy crap! I don't know about that. My guess would have been probably 26, 27, 26. We'll go
If I
26.
didn't say 53 swear words, then this isn't that I didn't do enough. I need to try this again.
Yeah. You know what?
This was abysmal. This was abysmal. If it didn't get 53 swear words, it deserves it because the 2023 Seahawks season is over. It's over before it gets to November, and that is the most depressing thing that has ever happened
You guys are six
this
and
month at
six.
least. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if it's the overly pessimistic Seahawks fan in me talking, but I don't see a world in which we win a game against the Niners or the Eagles that puts us in 6-8. And then even if we win out the rest of the way, 9-8, and then we don't have the tiebreaker against the Rams, I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at that
So,
schedule and I'm
you know
thinking,
what? Well, we can end this off with getting your reaction on. I think this is right now. I think when let's see, 54 seconds ago. So
okay,
Dak Prescott at the press conference came out. This is breaking news. Breaking news. He was asked
okay, okay.
on what the value of prevailing in a close game against an opponent with a winning record was, with how you're talking crap on the Seahawks. That might that'll let's here. I'll say the quote. This is Dak Prescott once again speaking, and not Simon Chiskovsky from his basement. Guys kept saying on the sideline, expect to win, expect to win. And when you do that, you have those expectations. You're going to find a way to win. Simple as that. I thought he said more than that as well. Crap, one second. Maybe I had the wrong quote. I got hyped up. What was the other quote? God damn it. Never mind. I wasted everyone's time. Sorry. I thought I read some. One second. Where
I
was it?
mean, that's the other thing about the Cowboys is that they haven't won before this game. They hadn't won a game against a team with a winning record, which I don't know. Like if I'm the Cowboys look they're a good team, they're a playoff team, but just to get all excited about this game that you squeaked by in a game where you were favored by almost 10 full points on the like money line, that's insane. Or I see tweets about, oh, this Cowboys season looks special. That's what you fuckers say every year. Just give up. Just give up.
Yeah,
I want
and
the Eagles to win the Super
another.
Bowl
This
just to
wasn't the quote I
spite
was
the
talking about. I
Cowboys.
thought it was something Dak said. This is still an interesting. This is. We've already talked for a little long on this one, but the Mike McCarthy came out and called Dak Prescott a championship caliber quarterback as well. That was another thing that.
I think that's not. I can agree with that. Dak played great this game. Dak played great. The Cowboys offense was great. But I just don't think you can as a full unit, especially this defense. This Cowboys defense is gonna have questions to answer. Especially that secondary. Because the Seahawks were picking them apart. Um, I don't know. The Cowboys' schedule is rough too. I'm as an unaffiliated observer who is not currently mad at the Cowboys that they just beat my favorite team. I think the next stretch of games will say a lot about what this Cowboys team actually is. Because I don't think you can say that, oh, they're for real after beating us. That you can't say that. That's just getting way too far ahead of yourselves,
Yeah, and
and
that
buying
that
that
is
the
the
hype.
quote that I thought I had found. I thought Dak had said something related to the idea that it felt really good to beat a really great team from behind, and then this would give them like a lot of confidence or something. I thought I had read a quote like
I
that.
mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it gives them confidence. Like I don't know. It's just the people that I see that are like, "Oh, this is the win that proves that the Cowboys are for real." You can fuck off with that. You can go take that and shove it up your ass because it's not that's not what this is. This is a win that you squeaked by against the team you were supposed to dominate. Um, so don't go hyping yourselves up about this game. Be grateful that you won, and then just take it and run with it, and try to not get thrashed in these next 5 games.